Hi guys, welcome to Adam McKola TV. This is MUFC Transfer Talk number 35. It's Thursday. How are you guys doing? The transfer window has well and truly heated up now. Obviously, Manchester United have made two signings already in Victor Lindelof and Romelu Lukaku, which has taken our spending to around the £100 million mark. But there's still plenty of business for Manchester United to get done. Are we going to be signing Ivan Perisic or another attacking player? Are we going to be signing a central defensive midfielder who've been linked with so many? Matic, Perisic, Nangolan, Dyer, all sorts of central midfielders we've been linked with. Are we going to be signing any other defenders? What is going down there? And there's also plenty of action in terms of players who may leave Manchester United as well. So we've got lots to talk about here today on Adam McKola TV, on MUFC Transfer Talk. Of course, the title speaks Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We'll be talking Zlatan Ibrahimovic for a lot of this stream today as well, as rumours are circulating at the moment that he will be offered a new contract at Manchester United. Now, obviously, I've had a few questions from you guys about Zlatan Ibrahimovic in the last couple of weeks, and we haven't known much. There hasn't been much interest about or much speculation in terms of if Zlatan's going to sign a new deal at Manchester United. The last we heard, he was released on a free. He's one of the players that have been released on a free, as is Josh Harrop, because his contract wasn't extended. He had a one-year deal at Manchester United. But it looks like he could have not proven his fitness because he's not fit yet. But his recovery could be going better than expected. And if that is the case, Jose Mourinho is prepared to offer him a new deal at Manchester United. So we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about where those reports are coming from shortly. We'll also be talking Ivan Perisic again as well. He's been linked with Manchester United for a while. The Inter Milan winger has been linked to United. I've seen a picture of him today on the pre-season tour that Inter Milan are currently on in Italy. They go over to China next week. I saw an image of him with the squad, and he's proper Ashley Cole in it, just stood on the edge like, do I really want to be in this picture? I'll make it easy for you guys to crop me out when I finally do leave. And James Salent is obviously commenting about Wayne Rooney's goal today as well. He had his debut, not his competitive debut, obviously, for Everton today, and he scored a spectacular goal, similar to his goal against Arsenal when he broke onto the scene. Remember the name, Wayne Rooney and all that. And Wayne Rooney scored on his return for Everton, so that was nice to see for Wazza. It was against a poor side though, and the goalkeeper could have done a lot better. There was a few other goals in the game from distance as well, but must have been feeling great for Wayne Rooney to score on his debut, and of course that will relax him again into his Everton shirt. But look, he's not a Manchester United player no more, so we'll not be talking about Wayne Rooney, or unless we're discussing Premier League 11s or all-time 11s or whatever, United's record goal scorers, then we'll talk about Wayne. But talking about current news, Wayne Rooney isn't in that anymore, unfortunately. It's hard to get used to, but he's no longer a Manchester United player. Feels weird, doesn't it? Someone that isn't any longer a Manchester United player is Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but for how long will that be the case? He's been linked with a return to Manchester United now. Duncan Castles is the one that's reported this. He seems to be quite close to things with Jose Mourinho, Jester Fu and Jorge Mendes and all them guys. He's regularly been a mouthpiece for Jose Mourinho in the past. I remember particularly during his time towards the tail end of his career at Chelsea. And he's saying that Manchester United return for Zlatan Ibrahimovic in January is on the cards and will open up funds for Jose Mourinho. Mourinho has sanctioned the offer of a new contract to the Swedish ace, but also wants a new fullback, holding midfielder and a winger or a number 10. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has forced himself into Jose Mourinho's plans for the coming season with the speed and quality of his recovery from a double cruciate ligament rupture. The Manchester United manager expects Zlatan Ibrahimovic to be ready to play football again in January and has sanctioned the offer of a new contract to the centre forward. Medical prognosis that last season's leading goal scorer should now be available for the second half of a critical campaign for United have re-enabled a reassessment of the club's transfer strategy. Instead of recruiting two new frontline strikers, Ibrahimovic can be added to the squad mid-season to share playing time with Marcus Rashford and Romelu Lukaku. Limiting this window's spend on a centre-forward to Lukaku's fee will open up recruitment budget for other positions where Mourinho wants reinforcements ahead of his team's return to Champions League football. Now, I remember at the time when Zlatan Ibrahimovic did pick up that injury, and I said, not sure whether we're going to offer him a new contract, but there's always that possibility. If we did offer him a new contract, Zlatan Ibrahimovic returning in December or January could offer us a massive mid-season boost. Who knows where we are in the Champions League, League Cup, FA Cup, Premier League. We may need, that boost. Also, with Zlatan leaving, Rooney leaving, Schweinsteiger leaving recently, obviously Carrick's not getting any younger. We've lost a lot of experience over the last couple of years. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic is a key figure, an experienced figure. And just to have him around the dressing room, around the training ground, would be worth it as well. Of course, from a business perspective, it totally made sense for Manchester United not to renew his contract at that point when they didn't know how his recovery was going to go. But if he's proven to the medical team and proven to Jose Mourinho that he's going to be back playing, and you know what, this injury isn't going to be the end of him, then I'm delighted for Zlatan to be getting that new contract and be reuniting with the team, because he's not going to hold back the likes of Lukaku or Rashford or Martial. He's a player that is ending his career, and we know that. It may be just 6 months that he's at Manchester United. It could be similar to, remember Henrik Larsson when he joined for a while, and he could just give us that boost to push us over the line in a few games. His arrival for the team morale alone mid-season would be absolutely fantastic. So, I'm not against this idea of giving Zlatan Ibrahimovic a deal if he can prove his fitness. We have gone over 500 viewers right now as well. And Jay O'Connell pointed out that we've gone to 36k. Let me just see if that is confirmed. It is confirmed. We have gone to 36,000 subscribers. Remember, the target's 40,000 subscribers by the beginning of the new Premier League campaign. Guys, if you love Zlatan Ibrahimovic, hit that like button right now. Get your likes in for Zlatan. Go on. You know you want to do it. Right, let me jump in these comments then. Mark O'Rourke, my day's going well, thank you. How's your day doing, mate? Hope it's going well. Abdullah says, I would doubt Rooney cares about Man United. Jay O'Connell, hope you're doing well, mate. Michael J says, McKola. That's original, not, but thank you for getting involved anyway. Would I take Van Persie back? I love Robin Van Persie, but I wouldn't take him back, no. His time at Manchester United has sadly come to an end and is no longer, good enough for United. Bradley Rose, thank you for the nice comment. Amit Pinge, we should sign Zlatan. Bradley Rose says, hello from New York City. UK Checkmate says, nice jacket, thanks mate. It's a little Puma deal. It's alright. I bought it a while ago, but I very rarely wear it, so I thought, let's stick it on today, hey? Plus, it's not that warm today, so need a little jacket. Sam Scholes says, dab Adam. I will not be dabbing, mate. Arvin Sarangi says, any news on Varela? Not at this moment in time. Samuel Asfor says, Zlatan with the 100 emoji and a thumbs up as well. Connor, I love you too, mate. Motion says we need to sign Fabinho. Samad says Sanchez is coming. I really don't know where this confidence is coming from that Manchester United are signing Alexis Sanchez. I would be loved to be proven wrong, but I just don't see it happening, guys. Hello from Kenya, says Collins. How you doing, mate? Abdullah Saeed, thanks for the comment. Matarin Herrera, important this season, says Jamie Roberts. Paul Riley says evening. Evening, Paul. Evening, everyone else as well. Morning, afternoon, wherever you are watching from. I know some of you guys watching the craziest of time zones. So thank you very much for keeping it involved and keeping it locked to Adam McKola TV. I love doing these live streams with you guys as well. And don't worry, when the transfer window closes and the season's underway, there will be plenty more action happening here on Adam McKola TV. Like I told you yesterday, we'll be having a cheeky chat regularly with Cheeky Sport Dave about all things Manchester United throughout the season. I'll be doing Donkey of the Day kind of video If you know about Charlemagne the God, then you know about Donkey of the Day, and I'm going to copy that format and apply it to football every single week. Also, what else am I going to do? Live previews, live reviews, they're going to continue. I'm going to try and get some more vlogs in on there as well. We're going to be adding loads more layers, some football videos, FIFA 18 videos, loads more layers to come on Adam McKola TV. And there's a little thing that I want to work on as well, which isn't just football, it's more general news, but it's going to be fun and funny and a light-hearted look at the week's news. So there's loads of things to come on Adam McKola TV, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like I say, I'm trying to hit 40,000 by the beginning of the new Premier League campaign. Raul Vivek says, what are your expectations for the Super Cup against Madrid? I'm not really sure, to be totally honest, at this moment in time. You can't say. We may make new signings. It depends what kind of rhythm that the team find in pre-season. It depends what kind of team Real Madrid play as well. There's rumours that they won't play Cristiano Ronaldo in the Super Cup. So if that's the case, then obviously Real Madrid may be playing a weakened side. What kind of side will Manchester United play? It remains to be seen. Muiz says, lunch and Adam McKola TV. Nice one, mate. Sean's just been to the gym. Hope you're feeling well and you're not feeling too much of that burn. Manny plays says F1 in London, yes or no? On the F1 point, I hope it does stay in England regardless of what happens. Obviously, looks in doubt at Silverstone, but I hope they keep it in England. It's something that obviously we all enjoy, and it's back this weekend as well. This time last week, I was there. Anthony Marshall says, have you played in the Fan League Cup? I am participating in the Fan League Cup, and we have got Arsenal Fan TV in the first game. How about that? How about that? Make sure you keep it locked for that to Ball Street. And of course, full-time Devils as well. Close to 700 people in the live stream at the moment. We're talking Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Is he going to be offered a new contract at Manchester United and return in January from his injury? What kind of boost could that be for Manchester United? What do you guys think about Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Should we sign him back with the options that we have? Lukaku, Martial, Rashford, who can play in the number 9 position, with Rooney having left, with Antoine Griezmann not coming in. With no other strikers really there available, would Zlatan Ibrahimovic be an ideal signing even on a 6-month basis from January? What do you guys think to that latest news? We are now over 700 viewers. Thank you all for getting involved. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and share as well. Who will reach their peak first between Martial and Rashford? I'm not sure, Sayan, but I'm just going to enjoy watching it. How many signings do we need, Adam, says Phil Mason? I think about 2 or 3 more, depending on how many leave. But I think around 2 or 3 more. Veal, I'm doing well, mate. How are you doing? Sign Usain Bolt, says Steph Pieri. No, thank you very much. Is he still talking about playing for Manchester United? Oh my days, give it a break, mate. Pereira in the number 10 role, says Anwar. I would enjoy seeing that, you know. Obviously, we got Mata and Mkhitaryan who can play there. And I think that's enough for the number 10 position, particularly when we're not going to play a number 10 every single game. And Andreas Pereira provided an alternative to them too at number 10 would be nice. If we're going to sign Antoine Griezmann next season, then we don't really need to sign a number 10 now. If we've got Mata, Mkhitaryan and Andreas Pereira. I hope Andreas Pereira really does well on this pre-season tour, because if he can have a good pre-season tour, then hopefully he can prove to Jose Mourinho that he should at least keep him with the club for the first few months of the season. If he doesn't get game time by January, then of course he can head there. Let me hit some of your comments again. Favourite time of the day, says Sahil. Thank you very much, Sahil. Thank you for watching. Sam Scholes says, what kind of formation will we play? Obviously, that remains to be seen. But I hope United play a number of formations. We're going to need to be flexible, particularly with the Champions League coming back as well. We're going to have to be able to play a 4-3-3, a 4-2-3-1. Maybe is Jose Mourinho going to go with that 3 at the back again that he tried a few times? Is he going to go with that? I've seen an article recently about Luke Shaw, which I really like. Now, I know this isn't about transfers, but Luke Shaw has been linked with a move away from Manchester United. And Jamie Jackson, who's in Los Angeles covering the tour, has said Luke Shaw has impressed Jose Mourinho and earned the chance to prove himself again and make himself the first choice left back. And I really love that news, and I hope it's the case. I hope Jose Mourinho has been impressed by Luke Shaw, and I hope Luke Shaw has proven to Jose Mourinho that he's good enough, he's fit enough, he's willing to fight back and earn his place in the side. Now, he's obviously not going to be fit enough to play any or many of the games in pre-season, and he's still recovering from the season-ending ankle ligament damage that he suffered in April. So that's obviously unfortunate. There's hope he may be fit for the season opener against West Ham, but if he's just returning to match fitness around then, it's unlikely he's going to start in that game. But whenever Shaw does recover, Mourinho will select him at left back at the first reasonable opportunity and challenge him to play well enough to keep his starting berth. I love to hear that shit. And I love, that it's another player. We saw it with Mkhitaryan, we saw it with Marshall at times last season, where Jose Mourinho had laid the gauntlet down to these players and said, you've got to earn your spot. You've got to earn your position in this team. And the players responded. And it's great to see Mkhitaryan responded, Martial responded, and now Luke Shaw seems to have responded to Jose Mourinho's challenge. So that is great to see. Mark O'Rourke says, fuck the Mayweathers. Now, Mark, I love you, mate. You're always in here, but we'll have none of that. None of that. All right? Dragonflies, thank you for telling everyone to subscribe. On that note, everyone subscribe if you haven't already. Joseph with a controversial comment, but it's one that a lot of people make to ruffle feathers, saying Rooney is not a legend. I totally disagree with it, to be honest with you. If he's not a legend, then there's not many legends about, is there really? Do you worry about the loyalty of younger players, says Mr. Dave. I think it's difficult with younger players because they've got to get opportunities as well. Obviously, loyalty in football is usually a myth because there's very rarely you get players that love the clubs, like have a genuine love for the club that they're at. That's why we love seeing younger players, local players coming through. Of course, there are players that love the clubs that they play for and are totally committed. But I think it's a two-way relationship. I think sometimes clubs fail players and players fail clubs. It's not always players are disloyal. What about when clubs don't renew contracts or turn players down or, don't pay players fairly in comparison to others? When these things happen, no one ever says, the clubs are disloyal, but it's always players are disloyal. So I think there has to be balance to it. Of course, there is a lot of disloyalty in football, but it's a job as well for some of these players. I remember, this isn't really on loyalty, but it's more a point that some of these players purely see football as a job. I remember reading a Ben Foster interview on why he didn't make it at Manchester United. And it was something about, at Manchester United, it was because at Manchester United you had to live, eat and breathe football. And Ben Foster felt that football was just his job. He wasn't as committed as that. I'm sure it was Ben Foster, if I'm wrong on that. But I remember reading an interview with someone like that, where they said they didn't make it because it was just a job to them. Statue for Rooney, someone says. I don't agree with that at all. What's up, Ridgel? Hope you're doing well. Muzamal says, sign Di Maria with the snake emoji. Not sure whether you're being serious or not there. For momentarily, we had 800 people in the live stream. Thank you very much, guys. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe as well. Lee Davis, always tick the like. It means a lot. Thank you, Lee. Paul Scholes, guessing it's not the real one, says Adam Tevez wanted contract, but Alex said no. To be honest, I wasn't really asked about that. Now, he's a great player, but I wasn't really asked about that. Did I see Rooney's stunner on Everton's tour, says Daniel. Yes, I did. It was a great goal, a great strike anyway, but the keeper probably should have done better. We need to sell a defender. Hopefully Jones, says Afro Juju. Jones or Smalling or both to leave. I'm not too sure, to be totally honest with you, on that one. Obviously, guys, we've been talking mainly for the first 20 minutes about Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Could he be set to return to Manchester United very, very soon? It looks like that could be the case. Duncan Castles reporting that Jose Mourinho is set to sanction the move to offer him a new contract, with it to believed that Zlatan will return from his injury and be available for selection in January. What kind of boost could Zlatan Ibrahimovic give to Manchester United upon his return? It could be like a new signing, I would say, but it is exactly that, considering Manchester United released him, although he wouldn't have played for anybody or signed a contract in between that time. And then, of course, we're talking Ivan Perisic as well. Earlier on in the day, Inter Milan club sporting director Pierre Orsilio was quoted as saying, "It's not happening. Perisic is training with us, and so far we have not taken into consideration anything that they have offered us." But of course, we have heard as well that Manchester United are 24 hours away from signing him. That is because United have agreed terms with the player. Personal terms have been agreed with the player. So all they have to do now is agree a fee with Inter Milan. But it doesn't say a fee is 24 hours away from being agreed. It just says as soon as a fee is agreed, it will take 24 hours for that move to be complete. So it's a bit of like they've tried to grab the headlines with that 24 hours stuff. But you have to question that. We're not 24 hours away from signing Ivan Perisic. But if we were to agree a fee, the move could be wrapped up within 24 hours because of the fact that he's already agreed terms. He would just have to do a medical and travel to meet the squad out in America. So that's the way we are with the Ivan Perisic news at this moment in time. Are United going to get fed up and pull the plug on this one? Because we've been in negotiations for a while now. And we haven't really, well, obviously we've heard over the last couple of days that we have made movement towards getting a fee agreed and we are closer. But the sporting director coming out today saying it's not happening. Of course, they're going to say that because obviously they need to keep their hands strong in this. They're not going to come out and they're saying he's for sale. But is he going to join Manchester United anytime soon? We really need to hope that is the case because we need most of our signings coming in and playing from the offset and, you know, bedding down in this pre-season with this team that we've currently got. So I want United to get signing done over the next week. Yes, if they miss the LA Galaxy game and the game after that, that's not really much of an issue because we've got so many games this pre-season. But you'd like to see your business done over the next week or two for the next 2, maybe 3 signings that we are going to make. I think we'll definitely make 1 or 2 more. A CDM maybe, and of course Ivan Perisic. But the Ivan Perisic move isn't really any closer. We need to get that deal agreed with Inter Milan. But hopefully that can happen very, very soon. Let's check out Sport Witness to see if they've got anything else relating Manchester United. Close to 850 people in the live at the moment. Thank you all for joining us here on Adam McKola TV. It's the 35th MUFC Transfer Talk, and today we're talking Zlatan Ibrahimovic's new contract. We're talking Perisic. Is he really 24 hours away from signing for Manchester United? And we're answering all of your questions. Well, it's most of your questions in the live as well. There's so many of you in here at the moment that when your questions do come through, I do miss a fair few or I miss your name or anything like that. Like Tuck Beer says now, is Sanchez a realistic signing? Now, I did a video, I think it was MUFC Transfer Talk 32 or 33. I did a video talking about Eric Dyer and, of course, Alexis Sanchez and Joe Hart as well. And I don't think any of those moves are likely to happen for various reasons. Now, Joe Hart, I don't want it to happen. He's not good enough to be our first choice, second choice, third choice goalkeeper. He's not better than Joel Pereira. He's not better than Sergio Romero. He's not better than David De Gea. Why would you even bring to him even if we do let David De Gea go? No, thank you very much. And then, of course, there was the Eric Dyer stuff. 60 fucking million pounds for Eric Dyer. You taking the piss? No, thank you. Do not want him. But it looks like, are you really going to sign Eric Dyer for 60 million pounds? Daniel Levy would pull your pants down and Daniel Levy would play ultimate hardball. That one's just not going to happen. They fucking sold Kyle Walker to Manchester City for £50 million today, and Kyle Walker had fallen out of favour there. Kyle Walker had fallen out of favour with Pochettino and they still managed to get £50 million for him. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Suraj's opinion is better, I agree with you there. But can you imagine that? £50 million for a player that was in a feud with the manager. Crazy money. Now, I think Kyle Walker's a decent player. Best right back in the Premier League after Antonio Valencia, obviously. But £50 million, awful lot of money. And if we really wanted Dyer, they would pull our pants down. And secondly, Dyer isn't an improvement on anything that we've got here at Old Trafford. So just fuck that one right off. And then we spoke about Alexis Sanchez. And firstly, I'm not sure where these rumours have really come from. Where have these Alexis Sanchez rumours come from? When I checked all the articles online, it seemed to be from the fact that Manchester United fans, when James Rodriguez signed for Bayern Munich had obviously been linked to Alexis Sanchez with Manchester City. So when James got to sign by Bayern Munich, everyone was like, they don't want Alexis Sanchez now. Maybe we can challenge. Manchester City for the signature of Alexis Sanchez. But the reality is United are very unlikely to sign Alexis Sanchez. It's based on fans wanting him, fans wanting to boil the piss of Arsenal. Now, I would want nothing more than to do that, to boil Arsenal fans' piss and sign their best player. If we signed Alexis Sanchez alongside Lukaku, two of the top goal scorers from last season, they'd arguably catapult us to the league title anyway. So it'd be a Robin Van Persie-like signing, but I just can't see it happening. So I don't think Alexis Sanchez signing for Manchester United is realistic at all, mate. Got over 900 people in here now, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. As I've said, we're not talking Dyer Hart or Alexis Sanchez today. That was on a video the other day. We are talking Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Is he going to stay? Bars. Anyway, is Zlatan going to stay? Duncan Castles, who has been a mouthpiece for Jose Mourinho in the past and seems to continue to be a mouthpiece for Jose Mourinho, Jorge Mendes and Hestafu as well, is saying that Manchester United, Jose Mourinho sanctioned the contract renewal of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now, obviously, United didn't renew his contract when it expired in June, but they're saying his recovery is going well. And because his recovery is going well, Manchester United are happy to renew that contract. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen, but the news coming out seems to be from a reliable source. So it could well be the case that Manchester United are up for signing Zlatan again. Now, I don't mind that. I did mention towards the tail end of last season, I didn't think it would make business sense for Manchester United to renew his contract because of the severity of the injury. But if he could prove his fitness to Jose Mourinho, then he could be a hell of a signing midway through the season. It'd be like Henrik Larsson coming, remember that? Zlatan coming midway through the season, take the pressure of Lukaku, Rashford, Martial a little bit, and him come in, steal the headlines, boost the morale of the team, boost the morale of the crowd, and if we need it, boost the goals on the pitch. So it'd be a great signing to come back into the team. Whether it does happen or not, hopefully his recovery goes well enough and he continues his positive and his strong recovery so that he can continue his football career at the highest level, because it was a damn shame the way he went out at Manchester United, picking up that injury late on in the game, not being able to play in the final in his home country against his former club Ajax for Manchester United. It was really disappointing that the way he went out. So I would like to see him get an opportunity to return to United. And the news today so far is good. The news today in terms of Ivan Perisic, there has been reports that 24 hours away from signing for Manchester United, but Inter sporting director has said that United haven't had a bid accepted yet. And it seems to be 24 hours away from signing. It seems to be a development on the fact that United have agreed personal terms with the player. So that all it seems to be at this moment in time. United have agreed personal terms with the player. So if they agree a fee with Inter Milan, which they haven't yet because Inter Milan are being very, very stubborn, then as soon as they agree a fee, within 24 hours, it could be complete because the terms are done. But in reality, it's not going to be done within the next 24 hours unless we agree a fee right now. Subarasam says, when Perisic doesn't sign for us, who do you want to sign? You seem really confident that he's not going to sign for us. It has been dragging on a little bit, isn't it? It is easy to feel that way. 950 people in the live stream now. Thank you all for joining us. Sean Okoye says, Martial to score 25 plus goals next season. I would really, really love that. Kato's first time joining live. Welcome, Kato. Paul Miller, how you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Edward Craven says, Perisic is not good enough. I don't think we need a player, though, to come in and be starting week in, week out. That's why I think Ivan Perisic is a decent signing. He's of a good level. He's experienced. He can add goals and assists to the team. And he's not a player that would expect him to start week in, week out. So I think it's not a bad signing by Manchester United at all. Obviously, the price is incredible. And when you look at the price, yes, you could probably sign someone for the same price. But are they going to come in and expect to be starting week in, week out? Are they going to be younger than Martial and Rashford? You don't want to be preventing these guys from breaking through. You want to be able to give them game time. Regatale says, hey Adam, I'm so late. No problem that you're late. You can, of course, catch up on the rest of the stream if you want to. Just to catch up, though, we've been talking Zlatan. Duncan Castles report that United are set to offer him a new contract because His recovery is going well and he could be back in January. How would you feel about that? And we're talking Ivan Perisic, with those reports 24 hours away from signing. That isn't the case, really. Terms are agreed, but we need to agree that fee with Inter Milan, and they're being stubborn as fuck at the moment. Gaz Newton says, fuck Pep, the bold potato, with his random comment coming out. Brad McQuaid has just joined. Alexis Simotos says, Nangolan, what you reckon? I wouldn't mind Manchester United signing Nangolan, but I don't think it's going to happen. Comments are moving quick. James Brady says, thoughts on Januzaj. Now, obviously, I was live last night when the news broke through about Adnan Januzaj being sold by Manchester United. If you've missed that news, Adnan Januzaj was sold to Real Sociedad. I pointed out that tweet where it said he was on a weird David Moyes tribute tour. Manchester United, Sunderland, and now Real Sociedad. But he's on his way to Real Sociedad in a deal that could be worth up to £9.8 million for Manchester United. And it's really disappointing to see him move. Now, look, I'm not saying disappointed because I think he could have offered something to United this season. I think he's shown whilst he's been on loan at Dortmund, which I think was a silly loan move for him, and whilst he's been on loan at Sunderland, that he hasn't quite done enough to prove himself at Man United and earn a spot in Jose Mourinho's first team squad this season. So I think the move makes sense. United have put a buyback clause in the move, so that's good as well, because he's obviously a talented player. He's an incredibly talented player. It's unfortunate it hasn't gone to plan for him. It's unfortunate he hasn't fulfilled that massive potential that he did have. But we had this debate yesterday on Adam McKola TV on the MUFC Transfer Talk when it broke about having the talent but having to have that hard work as well. Now, you can't just have the talent to make it at Manchester United. You've got to back it up with the hard work. And Adnan Januzaj, unfortunately, just hasn't done that. You may say he hasn't had the breaks when David Moyes left, Louis van Gaal come in. Louis van Gaal didn't really play him much. But I remember him having runs of games at time, and he just didn't prove himself at Manchester United. He didn't do well on loan at Sunderland. You look at Andreas Pereira. Granada got relegated too, but he still showed up. He still performed well. And Adnan Januzaj hasn't done that consistently at Sunderland. There were times when he showed glimpses at games of his magic, of how good he was, of that song, how did it go? The boy who could do anything. He showed glimpses of that, but he didn't do it consistently enough, and you've really got to do that. Now I'm hoping he does that at Real Sociedad. He's been to the Premier League, he's been to the Bundesliga, he's experienced all that. So let's see if he can go and apply his skills to La Liga. We saw Andreas Pereira enjoy himself there. He was allowed to play his football a little bit. And Adnan Januzaj will be allowed to do that too. But he needs to perform. He needs to train hard. He needs to work hard, because it's not going to be easy for him. So I really do hope he does well out there. I've just seen a few boosts in likes as well, so thank you very much for liking the video. And if you haven't already, we've got close to 1,000 people in at the moment, just over 300 likes. Can we get that to 500 likes? Hit that like button right now. And if we do get it to 500 likes, I'll extend this stream a little bit. We're still going at this moment in time. We're 33 minutes. It's normally a half an hour stream. If you guys can get it to 500 likes, we'll keep this stream going, and I'll keep answering some of your questions. Craig says, is Zlatan's ego too big to be on the bench? I think if he did agree a move with Jose Mourinho to come back, I think Jose Mourinho would be perfectly clear about what his position in the team would be. We already know that he has a great relationship with Jose Mourinho, and I'm sure Jose Mourinho would be able to communicate to him just how important he is to the team, but that he's not going to be a guaranteed starter like he was before his injury and last season. And if that's the case, then I think totally understand that. Lukaku kind of hinted that Ibrahimovic was coming back when he said in his interview on ESPN that he asked Zlatan Ibrahimovic for the number 9 shirt. That kind of hinted that Zlatan would be on his way back. But the fact that he said, look, take the number 9 shirt, kind of shows as well that he's accepted that he isn't going to be number 1 choice if he does come back to Manchester United. So, yes, I do think even with his ego, he would be able to sit on the bench. Andrew says, Nelson Semedo just joined Barcelona, a player that was linked to Manchester United. So I'm sure they'll say that he rejected Manchester United. 1,000 people in the live stream now. Thank you very much for joining us here on Adam McKola TV. We're talking Zlatan, we're talking Perisic, and of course we're answering your questions too. Why not Bakayoko, says VJ. Bakayoko's on his way to Chelsea, mate. Don't let the rumours fool you. Don't let them rumours fool you. We are not after Bakayoko. Chelsea just want people to think that they've got one over us when they do eventually sign him. It's not the case, believe me. Sam Nevis, anyone else not want Raja Nangolan to come? I'll let you guys answer that. Over 1k viewers, please like and subscribe to Adam, says Dragonflies. Thank you for doing the Lord's work, mate. Adam, make more sense. Perisic will be a starter, says Anthony Marshall. It's not the real Anthony Marshall, because he wouldn't be saying that. He'd be saying, Perisic ain't starting. I'm fucking starting. That's what the real Anthony Marshall would be saying. Abdullah Saeed says the Shite channel is live as well. God bless them. What do you think of our current fullback, says Ola Badmus. I think Tony Valencia's got his spot locked down. I think that's his spot to keep. Obviously, he's not getting any younger, so you want him to stick around and do well. But obviously, we need to look at replacing him soon. We have backup for him in Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Matteo Darmian. But of course, on the left-hand side, if Luke Shaw can hold down his spot, if Luke Shaw can do his thing, then of course, yeah, we're buzzing, because Luke Shaw has the potential to be the best left back about. Let me tell you that. If Luke Shaw can refine that form that he had for that period up until he broke his leg, then Luke Shaw can be the best left back in the Premier League and one of the best about in Europe. I absolutely love Luke Shaw, and I hope he can come through as our main choice left back this season. Yo, Cash Darno, how you doing? Jack B says, who do you think realistically is going to be playing that defensive midfield spot this coming season? Who do I think realistically? Matic? Nah, I can't see Matic happening now. Not after we signed Lukaku. I'm not sure, mate. I would carry Timothy Fosu-Mensah rotation. I'm not against that, to be totally honest with you. I'm not against that. Of course, if we sign someone like Nangolan, Matic, Fabinho, I'd be happy, but I'm not against that at all. Paul Wade says, is Lukaku going to gel straight away, or is it going to take time? I think it depends on the style of play that United do adopt. If we play to his strengths, then I think he's already accustomed to the Premier League, so it shouldn't be too difficult for him to adapt to it. But of course, it depends how we play. If it's too dissimilar to what he's had at Everton, then he may need to take time. No police today, Mustafa. There is none on the scene. Luke Shaw used to go to my school, says Rotoroo. That's an interesting little tidbit there. Faye Rizal says, what's up, Adam? I never missed your show, mate. You never do. Thank you for joining us again. If Sanchez comes, Mata goes, says 24. I'm not sure how that one works out. They don't exactly play in the same position. Perisic is a traditional winger and something different to what we have, says Asa Spades KR50. I totally agree with you there, even though your username is an absolute mouthful. Gigs Ali says, hello, Adam. How you doing? I'm doing well. How are you doing? No 5-0 today, mate. Your hair looks slick. Thank you, Naz. I have got a haircut booked in for tomorrow. Buzzing about that one. I do need a little bit of a trim. So, guys, on that note, thank you all for bearing with us today here on Adam McKola TV. It's been around 40 minutes of absolute fantastic chat with you all. We've been talking Zlatan. Will he stay? Will he join somebody else? Will he sign a contract with somebody else? Fingers crossed he does stay. We've been talking Perisic. Could it be done in 24 hours? I doubt it will be, but you know, you never know. If we get a fee agreed, these things can move quickly, and we were answering your questions as well. If you joined us late, then this video will be available for you as soon as we're finished here. Just let it process, and you can watch the whole thing back. If you're not watching us live, then where were you? We go live regularly 8 p.m. UK time, Monday to Friday, and spontaneously throughout the days when latest news is breaking regarding Manchester United as well. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. 40k by the beginning of the new Premier League campaign. Can we make it with your help? Yes, I fucking can. Isn't that the Barack Obama quote? Something like that. Anyway, I've been Adam McKola. This has been Adam McKola TV. You have been absolute fucking legends. I'm out of here.